Hello, today we are gonna read the book Puppy's Place. But this time we're gonna read Stella. It is a good book. Like last time we read Nala, which is very obedient, shy, and lovable. So now let's read Stella. We should be just about there, said Charles' dad. He peered through the windshield of the van. Keep an eye out for a sign that says something about Crystal Lake. I see it. Charles turned to stare at his younger brother, the bean. What are you talking about? He asked. You can't read. The bean bounced up and down in his car seat. Can't pointed out the window. L is for lake. Swallowed and stared out at the window and saw a large sign that said, Welcome to Crystal Lake. Under the words, a bright picture of a bright blue lake surrounded by pine trees. He's right. Dad put on his blinker. This must be the road we take. Charles slumped in his seat, feeling tired, even though he'd been sitting still for hours. I still wish Lizzie was with us, he said, or that we could have stayed home with her and that new puppy. The camping trip was supposed to have included all Peterson kids, but at the last minute, his older sister had gotten a call from Miss Dobbins, the lady who ran the animal shelter where Lizzie volunteered. Since the Petersons were known for fostering puppies, taking out young dogs who needed home. She wouldn't. You see, I'm gonna make this glasses look smaller. And bigger. You see? It's big. Not small. So, Mom may not be so happy about this situation either, Dad said. She was looking forward to a weekend on her own, when she could really enjoy visiting with her friends. It was Mom's annual reunion weekend, when she got together with 3 friends from college. One year she had gone all the way to California to see the girls. But this year they were all coming to Littleton. Mom had been cleaning the house for weeks and even bought new curtains for the living room. Hey, Dad said, forget about Lizzie and the puppy. Let's have a fantastic boys' weekend. Okay, you, me, Buddy, and Bean. Boys rule. Charles had to smile. Boys rule. He repeated, looking back at Bean, happy in his car seat, and at Buddy, curled peacefully on his soft doggy bed in the way back. Buddy was the only foster puppy the Peterson had kept forever. Charles loved him so much, from the tip of his waggy tail to the top of his adorable nose. What could be better than a camping trip with his best pal? Charles sat up straighter in the seat. How big is the campground, anyway? He asked. I don't know, Dad admitted. I found it online and I arranged everything with a few phone calls. The people who run it seem very nice. And it has a lake? Charles asked. A lake and streams and woods. And I bet there won't be many people there at all, since the nights are getting cold lately. What kind of fish are we going to catch? Charles asked. Well, I don't know. Maybe some bass or big toothy pike. Dad flashed his teeth at Charles and chomped noisily. If I catch a pike, you're taking it off the line, Charles said. He did not like the idea of a big toothy fish. Pike, yelled the bean. Pike's Mike trike. They all cracked up. Hey, is this it? Finished your family campground and blah blah blah. Hop out and grab one, would you? Unbuckled and got out of the van. She smelled a deep breath of piney, smelly air. Its freshness washed away all the sleepiness and grumpiness he had been feeling. Suddenly, he couldn't wait to see the lake and the campsite. He trotted up to the broad wooden steps to the wide porch, noticing 我在录10分钟. The green wooden rock chairs placed all along its length, and he pulled out the map out of the box, labeled Campground Maps. A quick glance at the covered campground, like the weather and the larger fish someone had caught in the past week. It had a special feature about bats. And there was even a column called Stella's Store and blah blah blah. It was something. Whoa. Look, just stepped out to take a closer look, but just then beat the horn. We'd better keep moving if we want to get ourselves set up before dark. You navigate. The campsite is the one called Elm. Which way to go? I think they passed the lake, more of a pond, really but big enough, and almost as blue as the one in the painting on the sign. That walled their way, blah blah blah. There it is, Elm. Well done. Saw the shelter with 3 walls, a roof, a fire pit from a ring of stone, and a picnic table. He unbuckled the bean's chair, and they all got out and have a stretch. Ah, said Dad. Smell that air. This is going to be great. No computers, no cell phone service, just man and nature. What could be better than that? Buddy sniffed the air too. He shook himself off and wandered over to a tall pine to lift his leg. Where do we go to the bathroom? Charles asked Dad. Not that he had to go right then. He just wanted to know. Dad pointed to a building, and Charles saw a path to it through the woods. That's probably where we could get water too. The Bean and I could go check. Why don't you take that broom and sweep our lean to so we can set our things up in a clean area. He pointed at the three-sided shelter. Charles hitched Buddy's leash and to the picnic table and helped Dad unload a big cooler and camp stove. Then while Dad and the Bean headed off to get water, he began to sweep pine needles and sand out of the lean. Pausing now and then to sniff the fresh air and crane his neck for a glimpse of the lake, which glittered and glistened through the trees. When he heard Buddy whine, he figured Dad, and Bean must have returned. He poked his head out of the lane, ready to ask if they'd found water, but they weren't there. Instead, he saw Buddy in the middle of a play bowl, front legs splayed out in front and bottom in the air, and bowing back, as if to say, "Sure, I love to play." Was the cutest, fluffiest little white dog Charles had ever seen. "Hey, who are you?" Charles asked, hopping down to lean to. Both dogs ignored him as they sniffed each other, wagging their tails. Was this a runaway puppy? Maybe a dog he could foster? That would show Lizzie, wouldn't it? She's the only one who knew how to help puppies. He edged. Small white pup was wearing a collar with a tag on it. She was so cute. She looked like a stuffed animal with perky ears and a fluffy tail. "Stella," yelled someone with a voice that sounded like a croaky frog, and a moment later a man was tall and thin and round. Silvery hair frizzled out. He teased the other. A big large. 我马上就读完了. He teased the other dog with it, prancing in with the stick in his mouth. "Look what I have. It's a very, very special stick. Do you want it?" And blah, blah, blah. I'll skip this. Are you the... Frank and Bean's meat finisher at your service, he called. "Nice to meet you, Frank." "She's Frank, my lovely bride of 50 years, Frances Finister. Everybody calls me Beansy. Don't ask why. Why?" The man didn't seem to hear him. Blah, blah, blah. "I got that name because I love beans. Always have. Navy beans, pinto beans, white beans, green beans, lima beans, pork and beans and other kind of beans. I'm crazy about them. And Frank here cooks them better than anybody. Guess that's why we're still married after these years. The bean was excited. He jumped up and down next. I am Bean, he said. I am the bean. I can go for a soldier bean, or I am jelly bean. You show me a bean and I'm gonna eat it up. Beansy was unstuck. Don't eat me. Molly almost shouting. This is our youngest. But you show me a bean and I'm going to eat it up. This is our youngest Adam. Well then, I guess I'm probably like you just as well as any other being, wouldn't I? Y'all just got here, I guess. Stella must have figured it out before we did. Isn't she cute as a button? We got her this spring. She's a handful. Tisk, tisk. She just doesn't listen. Stella is a Maltipoo, a cross from a Maltese and a miniature poodle. We always had dogs in the campground, haven't we? They're snowbirds just like us. Blah blah blah. And let's see. Look, had tired each other out. Beansy called Stella. Come on, girl. He croaked. I know you like to visit, but it's time for these people get on with their unpacking. Stella? What did he say? Asked Frank. He says Stella is a good girl. Not good enough. She's gonna have to learn to behave before we leave for St. Pete. We can't have her running all over the trailer park down here and there. No, the old folks wouldn't like it. Yeah, blah blah blah. This place will be a lot of fun. Look at the sky before it's dark and blah blah blah. She was adorable. Okay, and blah blah blah. Snowball. Her curly right hair longer and silkier than Snowball's. And she was smaller, but she had the same wavy tail and funny furry face. Now, funny you should ask, he said. We happen to have beans, chili, that's it. Chili was the specialist maker. Great minds think alike. Feeling a bit like Frank. Just saying, it's the same idea, right? Yeah. It just takes a little more effort if you want to be comfortable. You'll thank me later. Let's see. Get our kitchen set up and blah blah blah. Kindling for a fire. by the time Stella, but she ignored him as she and Buddy twisted and tumbled. Hey friend, I was wondering if you're still here. Maybe you better take her back to the lodge. You can take Buddy for it. I hate to leave him tied up so long. And don't forget to invite Beansy and Frank to dinner. Perfectly. Here's Stella's story, but not favorable. Look who's here. And look who's. I came here to ask you and Beansy to dinner. We're having chili. Beansy would be happy to hear that, Frank. Looked down at Stella. Stella, go find Beansy. Where is Beansy? Stella. She loves that game. Beansy following her. Charles was there, getting chili. One of my favorite ways to eat beans. It's a date. We'll come to bring some of Frank's famous lemon bars for dessert. As a matter of fact, we have something to ask for you. You have a real week. Stella and Lorraine fell to the darkness. Oh yeah, well, you seem awfully nice people, Aunt Stella. And was your own dog? I said to Beansy. I said, why not ask them? We are nice. Plus, we're a fostering family. We have lots of experience with puppies. See? Nudge Beansy. Well, isn't that something? Isn't that just the bee's knees? And blah blah blah. Sounds like a lot of work. It is. And this one is making it even harder. We've always been able to let our campground dogs roam free around here, but it's safe back on this dead-end road. But Stella keeps running off where we can't see her. She doesn't come when we call, and if we tie her up, she cries like a baby, and it breaks my heart to hear. Aw. Down to the puppies, but luckily none of the adults did. Slip Buddy and Stella another chunk of as soon as possible. Well, I know Charles and Bean will love to have Stella around. Well, I think that's gonna be enough. So have a great day and see you next time. Bye.